do it anyway. All right, it's two little boys. Their mother just put them to bed. It's 9 o'clock, and their parents are staying up watching TV, and they're upset because they're like, it's not fair. We want to stay up and watch TV too. Why we got to go to bed at 9 o'clock? And the one little brother said, well, they're grown-ups. We're not. And he said, well, maybe if we start acting like grown-ups, we can stay up too. And so how do we act like grown-ups? Another little boy said, well, do stuff grown-ups do. And they go, like what? I said, well, grown-ups cuss. Maybe we start cussing. We just stay up like the grown-ups. And another little boy goes, yeah, I don't know any cuss words. He goes, I do. Tomorrow you say hell and I'll say ass. And we'll be able to do whatever we want because I'm treated like grown-ups. So they go to bed, think that's a good idea. They get up the next morning, roll down to the breakfast table, sit down. Mom walks in, looks at the first little boy, said, son, what do you want for breakfast? And he said, hell, I'll take some Cheerios. Snatches him up, beats his butt all the way down the hall. She comes back, looks at the other little boy. Says, all right, what do you want for breakfast? And he goes, hell if I know, but you can bet your ass it ain't Cheerios. I was born and raised in Mississippi. Thank you for not moving. Lived there up to about 6 years ago, and then I moved to Alabama. And I found out once I got here that I'm not your typical Southerner. And the way I found that out is when I got to Alabama, in Mississippi, and I would assume it's this way in most states, in Mississippi, when we meet somebody for the first time, if I'm just meeting one of y'all, I'll ask you what's your name, are you married, you got any kids, where you work, where you go to church, how much, whatever the case may be. But when I get here, everybody I met for the first time, there's one thing they're worried about. There's only one thing that matters to them. They don't care what your name is, they don't care where you work. Are you an Alabama fan or an Auburn fan? I don't care. I went to get my hair cut. The guy that sat down, he didn't ask me what kind of haircut I want. He said, you an Alabama fan or an Auburn fan? I went my first job interview. And in a minute, we'll find out your job history and where you're from and your criminal background, but you like Alabama or Auburn? Went to church. Went to church once. Preacher called me around there. He said, son, it's your first time here. We're glad to see you. What's your name? Gene. Gene, we care about you here and we want to talk to you about something we want you to know. Do you want to open your heart to our Savior, the Alabama Crimson Tide? I'm like, that ain't right. That ain't right. But then they're always puzzled by my answer.
Where are you?
I say, they go, they always want to know, do you like Alabama or Auburn? And they're always stunned by my response. And I say, I don't watch college football. I don't care. And they look at me like I got a third eyeball. What do you do? You don't watch football. You television, bro? You come over to my house and you like Alabama? No, it's not that. I don't care about college sports. And that blows their mind. And here's one that blows their mind even more than that. This happened even in Mississippi. This is a Southern thing all the way around. I'm at somebody's house, I'm at a restaurant. All right, we're going to get you some sweet tea. I don't drink tea. What? Music stops, everybody turns and looks, glass falls to the ground and breaks. You don't drink tea, you ain't Southern. You don't drink sweet tea, you ain't a Southerner. So I found out real quick that I'm not your average Southerner or a person from Alabama. And something else about Alabama, and I'm not up here dissing Alabama. Don't get me wrong, don't turn on me. But I live in Alabama. I'm assuming 90% of the people in this room live in Alabama, right? Considering the big Roll Tide, War Eagle war we had going on a minute ago. I live in Alabama, you live in Alabama. Do you feel connected to me because of that? Do you feel we have a deep-rooted connection? Like when you drive past people on the highway every day and you pass a car, they got an Alabama tag, they're from Alabama. You don't feel like you know them. You don't feel like you're best friends. You pass somebody in the mall, you pass 400 people in the mall, you don't feel like they're your best friend, they're from Alabama, but by God, let them be the finalists on American Idol. Oh, that's Gene from the Comedy Club. We used to hang out. Oh, yeah, he don't like sweet tea. I know him, yeah. He don't watch football. He's all right, though. He can sing. one serious message I want to give. I like to, when I get up here, all this laughing and joking, fun games, that's all great. But I do want you to learn something. I want you to walk away tonight feeling like you've learned something. And what I want to say, it's good that everybody's here together. This is a great crowd. I was here on the night, and honestly, don't tell them, but they suck. I mean, they look just like we're crazy. You guys are great, and I really mean that. And I think it's great for us all to be here together, laughing, having fun. Because there's so much bad stuff in the world, so much bitterness, and there's racism and sexism, and they don't like somebody because they're, religion, you don't like somebody because they're homosexual, or whatever, Because I found, it's my philosophy, if you take the time and you really get to know somebody, you really get to learn about people, really get to know what they're all about, you'll see there are so many better reasons to hate people. People suck. I mean, if you hate somebody just because they're a Mexican lesbian atheist, you're a closed-minded idiot. But if they're an asshole, that's all right. There's no problem with that. All right, so we'll close with another joke. You remember the two little boys from the first joke? All right, now they've gotten ungrounded. They're not in trouble anymore, and they go to the pharmacy. They go in, they throw a box of tampons on the counter. The pharmacist looks at them, looks at the first little boy. He says, son, do you know what those are and what those are for? And he looks up and he said, oh, they're not for me, sir. I'm 8 years old. This is my little brother, he's 4. And we saw a commercial on TV last night that said if you use these things, you can swim and ride a bike, and he can't do either one. Thank you very much.